Good morning. It's 7:02 on a beautiful Thursday, March 18th. I'm so happy that you made it. It's time for the Morning Announcements. Morning Announcements, the kitsch-minded morning show where we get you ready for the day. I am your host, Nightcat. Nightcat in the morning. I'm so excited that you're here. We've got a great show coming up. Somebody bought a goat to celebrate a business transaction. So we're going to talk about that in the Morning Mews. And then I'm going to teach you all about the cool things that spiders do, because everyone seems to hate spiders when we dig through the book of useless information. But before we get into any of that, I have a few things that we got to address. Number one, you might have noticed that the fish are in a different tank now. I swapped the goldfish with the littler fish because, very sad news, the crawfish died yesterday. I was really sad about it. I love that little blue crawfish so much. I'm sure you saw her on the stream a couple of times. She was the best, and it really broke my heart. But it is kind of good because the goldfish needed something bigger, and I couldn't keep her with the crawfish because, you know, they need different things. So I was able to move all the warm water fish over to the smaller tank, and now the goldfish, she is so happy back there in her big tank. So it's very sad, but everyone seems to be adjusting to their new homes very well. Plus, you can really see the fish a lot better in this tall tank on the webcam. So you'll see them. We pulled in some frogs from another tank, so there are some cute little aquatic frogs in there that you might see, as well as some zebra loaches, which are these like weird little stringy looking things with stripes on them that are very cute. So lots of new things going on with 3 minutes of fish. I hope you're ready for that later. But in addition to that, some very exciting news. I got my vaccine yesterday, baby. I am Team Moderna. That's the Dolly Parton flavored vaccine, if you're interested. My arm hurts really bad today. Like, I can't really lift it past there without it really requiring some effort. But other than that, I didn't have any adverse effects. I didn't get a fever or sick or anything. It's my first shot, and they say that your second shot is going to be the harder one. But as of right now, I can report vaccine is pretty A-okay in my book, which has been pretty nice. All right. That is the morning business. Now, I think we should talk about something before we get into the news, though. So, I think maybe a change of music here. Ooh, Nightcat Classic Tales music. Okay. 1 year ago, on this day, if you don't remember, Utah was hit, and by Utah I mean Magna specifically, but we felt it really hard here in Salt Lake as well, a 5.7 magnitude earthquake. Now, we live on a fault line. We live in the mountains. It's not unusual for there to be earthquakes, but they're usually so small we don't feel them. And I've lived here my entire life. I've lived here 30 years, and I've only ever experienced that earthquake and the aftershocks for weeks after it. And it's terrifying because all throughout school, like first grade, second grade, they always told us about the big one. They were like, oh, yep, we're on Yellowstone. If Yellowstone ever blows, it's going to take out this whole side of the country, and then it's going to choke out the rest of the country with ash. So we never really experienced an earthquake. We were always terrified of the big one. And then we got hit, and I thought I was going to die. It was terrifying, and no one really prepares you for, you know, an earthquake like that. They all say, hey, get under your desk, there's an earthquake, let's all get under our desk, it's the big one, it doesn't matter, you're gonna die. That's all they ever prepared us for. They didn't say, hey, just write it out, the ground's gonna get a little shaky and you're gonna be fine. So we freaked out, and I was actually in the radio station studio when this went down, and we were sitting there just talking back and forth, and suddenly the lights went out, the power went down, and our studio was like on this really wobbly bridge smack between two ancient Salt Lake City buildings. So I did not believe that this bridge had the strength or wherewithal to withstand an earthquake. And every day I'd walk into the studio and I would notice that there was a crack right where the bridge met the building. And the aftershocks, I noticed the crack getting bigger. So that was a very rough situation. But a lot of people were hit, and the earthquake actually did do a lot of damage, especially out in Magna where it was the most intense. So I wanted to quickly go over what you should be keeping in your house in case there is an earthquake. We should all be prepared with certain needs in case of an earthquake. That's your emergency box. Don't touch it. It's probably a good idea to just have one of these anyway for any sort of emergency. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir in Utah because everyone here are doomsday preppers, but I went and did some research. Here's what they recommend you keep. So you need a 72-hour box is what it's called. Some people keep theirs in a one of those Home Depot buckets with the twist-on lids. Some people keep it in a tote, just anything that'll keep it dry and covered. You're gonna want, obviously, 3 days of everything. So 3 days of toilet paper, 3 days of cleaning supplies, personal hygiene stuff, food. You need 3 days of food. So count on however many people are in your house needing 3 meals a day for 3 days. That's how many meals you need to have. And make sure you don't need something specific for it. Like if your gas is not on or your power is not on, you might not be able to cook it. So make sure you have a way to either cook it or just keep stuff that doesn't need to be cooked for 3 days. They also say, obviously, a first aid kit. You should just have one of those around the house anyway, but make sure you keep one in your 72-hour box as well. Batteries. Batteries are a huge one. Also, I have started collecting, so they give them away now as like free stuff when you go to conferences or whatever with like some stupid brand name on it, but I can find those little power banks for next to nothing. I see them at the dollar store, they're at Walgreens. Just get yourself a few of those power banks that you can plug your phone cord into and charge your phone, and just make sure every month or so you go through and recharge those. That's what I've been doing, is I keep a stash of those, because listen, I can tolerate a lot, but not being able to play on my phone especially when there's a crisis and it's terrifying, that's just like my biggest nightmare. So make sure you have a way to charge your phone, a way to power things, flashlights, obviously. Let's see. The cleaning products I thought were really interesting. So they say also once you have an emergency, make sure you fill your sink. If you still have running water, clog your sink or plug your sink and fill it with water so you have water to dip into, as well as your bathtub if you can do that as well. So that way you have emergency water all the time in case it goes down and you need a place to wash or drink or anything. And speaking of drinking, they also recommend 1 gallon of water per day per person. So if you've got 5 people, you need 5 gallons of water for 3 days. So you need 15 gallons of water in your 72-hour kit, or next to your 72-hour kit. I don't know that you'll be able to fit it in a tote. But yeah, it's really scary. And especially last year, this was our 3rd day into quarantine, the first ever quarantine, and all we were hearing was how terrifying everything was, and then boom, earthquake. So it's always best to think about these things before they become a problem. I think the 1-year anniversary is a really great reminder that we need to go out of our way to get prepared and ready for something like that again, because it was so scary. I couldn't even take it. And that's how you get prepared for an earthquake. You're so welcome. All right, I think it's time to get over to the Morning Mews. The Morning Mews is the part of the show where I dig through some pop culture headlines and I get you ready to go to work and school and talk to your friends about it. And I want to get started with Ryan Reynolds, whom I love very much. He's my number one. I love him. He actually, one year for Valentine's Day, one of our local papers was like, if you want to leave a Valentine for anybody, just write it to us and we might publish it in the paper. So I wrote a Valentine to Ryan Reynolds, and I told him how much I loved him and that I know that we can't be together right now because he's like married or whatever, but that's small potatoes when it comes to love like we share, me and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is very funny. He has never watched The Green Lantern. The Green Lantern was his movie. He actually met his wife there, Blake Lively, which is cool. But he has never actually watched The Green Lantern, apparently. It was critically and commercially, no one liked that movie. It was reviled. Everyone hated it. And he never actually watched it because of how bad it was, and he only read his parts of the script. So he decided yesterday to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, because, you know, green. He would watch Green Lantern and live tweet about it for the first time. His tweets were hilarious. It started out with like, hey, just so you know, Green Lantern's like the only movie that you can't find on a streaming service for free. So if you want to watch along, you're SOL. Because you know nobody owns that movie. And if you do, why? Why do you want to hurt yourself so bad? What is that about? So he tweeted, one of my favorite tweets was his co-star Taika Waititi. If you don't know, Taika Waititi directed Thor Ragnarok, and he played the big rock monster in it. He is responsible for What We Do in the Shadows. Really funny. He co-starred in Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, and he recently won a Grammy for a totally different thing, not for the Green Lantern. And Ryan Reynolds tweeted, "I swear I am drinking to Grammy winner and all-around joy bringer to the world, Taika Waititi, and not to numb any pain that I might be feeling." So I think it's safe to say that he did not enjoy his viewing of the Green Lantern. But you know what? That's fair, because neither did any of the rest of us, and he at least made millions of dollars off it. Thank you. A Georgia man was waiting for his final paycheck from his boss. So he was working at an auto detailer, and he left because it was a toxic work environment. And he says, I can't work with that guy anymore. He's such a monster. I just got to get out of here. Well, he puts in his notice. He finishes his notice. He's waiting for his final check. And he wakes up, looks out in his driveway, and overnight, someone had dumped over $1,000 worth of pennies onto this guy's driveway, and they covered them in oil. Now I wonder who owed this guy over $1,000 and had access to a lot of oil. Is it maybe the owner of the shop that he was leaving because it was a toxic work environment? Oh yeah, to the news outlets, and one of them said she was a female employee. She said, "I was out in the lobby," and he's like, "Oh, you think you're better than all these guys? You think you have a bigger you know?" So he pulled her pants down in front of everyone. So this guy's just generally a real monster. And I guess a reporter tracked him down and asked, "So, you know about those pennies?" He goes, "Yeah, I know about those pennies." And he goes, "So did you do it then?" And he goes, "I don't know. I don't really remember. I don't know why he's whining. He got paid. I don't know why he's being such an effing weenie." Which, respect. I do like the weenie. I prefer the word weenie. I think it's hilarious. But other than that, that guy gets a 0 out of 0, a 0 out of 1,000 from me. He's a bad person. And if you're ever in a position where you get to be a boss, don't be like this guy. All right. Don't pants employees and pull pranks on them when they leave because, you know, you were too busy pulling pranks to actually run your business. That's not very cool. Ray J, if you don't know Ray J, I think, you know, the only reason I know Ray J is because that Kim Kardashian tape. But Ray J has a headphone brand. I didn't know anything about that either. I strictly just know about him and Kim Kardashian's tape. He went platinum recently, though, which I didn't know you could do with retail. Apparently that's possible. He got 1 million unique customers buying his headphones. So he celebrated. And he celebrated being the GOAT of headphones. If you don't know, the GOAT is an abbreviation for greatest of all time. The GOAT of headphones decided to celebrate by getting a goat. So in this picture, it's from TMZ. He's walking down his driveway and he's just got a goat in tow. And TMZ is like, "So what's that about?" He goes, "Oh, I'm the GOAT of headphones." And I understand that that's a really great joke. But man, you're not ready to take care of a goat for the rest of its life because of a joke. Goats are hard. They're loud. They're mean. They'll chase you. They'll chase your mailman. They'll chase your dog. They are just very aggressive animals. And they're complicated. It's hard to take care of them. Unless you have a farm where you're taking care of other farm animals, I wouldn't recommend just getting one sole goat. So I don't suspect that goat will be around for too long at Ray J's house. Unless you've experienced a prolonged time around a goat, you don't know, okay? You don't know what you're in for. But in all fairness, he survived the Kardashians, which I think is pretty impressive. And finally, Disneyland is going to reopen finally. So Disneyland in California has been closed since March due to the pandemic, and they have just been wondering when they're going to be able to reopen. Florida's Disney World has been open for a little while at reduced capacity. I think they're going to go full capacity soon. God bless Florida. But Disneyland California will be reopening at limited capacity starting April 30th. So that's when they're going to start letting people in. Now, I couldn't find anything. I know that they stopped their season passes. So if you already had one, you should have gotten a prorated refund for the amount that you couldn't use it for. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think that they're selling them again. So if you already have a season pass, don't count on it working there. I also am not too sure about how they're going to reduce the capacity. I don't know if it's going to be like a lottery situation where you're like, oh, did I get in this week? Yeah, I did, or whatever. But I'm excited, man. It really is nice. I got my first round of vaccine. I know a lot of my friends have it. The COVID rates have really been starting to drop, which is really nice. It's promising. We're starting to pull out of it. And I think that one of the biggest indicators is whether or not Disneyland is going to open. Because if it's bad enough that they're closed, Disney does not like losing money. So if it's bad enough that they're closed, we're not out of the woods yet. But, April 30th, baby! So very exciting. That is the Morning Mews. Let's take a look here what we got coming up next. Oh, we have got to thank our patrons. Patreon.com/Nightcat Show is the place to go if you would like to join our Patreon. Patreon, if you don't know, is an awesome service where... I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this to line up. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, whatever. It's not worth it. Patreon.com is an awesome service where you can support your favorite artists and independent shows. Things like this are not easy or cheap to produce, and right now I'm doing it all alone. I'm hoping that down the road we can get enough Patreon support that maybe I could hire someone to help me with editing. Maybe I could hire someone to help me with writing. Maybe I can hire someone to help me with all of these other things. Just like a quick intern to help me make the show even bigger and better. I want to improve the quality. I want to, keep doing morning announcements, which is going to be hard once I get a job. So the longer I can put off getting a job, the longer we can keep doing morning announcements. These are the people who make that happen. The patrons, people who have subscribed at either $3 a month or $5 a month to the Nightcap with Nightcat YouTube. We've got Charlotte Baker. Charlotte, thank you so much for being a patron. Next, we got Elizabeth Hubler. Elizabeth, you're just the best. Thank you very much. Eliza Ivy. Eliza, thank you for being a patron. You're just the best. Erin Palmer. Erin has been a big supporter for a long time. She listened to me on the radio forever. She's followed me everywhere. Just, you rock. I love you so much, Erin. Appreciate that. And my girl, my boo, my baby, Kristen. Kristen, well, her name's Kristen Farney now, but back when we were working together as 16-year-old concessionists at the movie theater, I've known her literally half my life. We had like a concession stand marriage. We were just best friends. So we took each other's names and a couple of the names from other employees. So her name was always Kristen Ashley Nelson Carter Mudrow Nye. Thank you, Kristen Ashley Carter Mudrow Nye, for being a patron. You're the best. If you want to join the ranks, if you want to get in with them, patreon.com/Nightcat Show is the place to do that. Don't forget, we're going to play Prize Pond here very, very quickly. If you want to play, text your first name to 601-557-2281, 601-557-CAT1. Text me your first name. I might call you to play live for a prize here on the show. Yes, here we go, folks. All right. So, this is the Book of Useless Information. The Book of Useless Information is exactly that. It's a huge book full of just random facts that you would maybe never need to know for a test, but I still think they're pretty fun. And when I worked on the radio, we used to play a game called Can't Beat Jackson. It was just general knowledge and pop culture trivia. I always knew the answers to everything because of things like this. But I want to hop in here and talk about spiders. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people hate spiders, and they think that spiders are lame, but I think spiders are so cute. Like, genuinely, I just think physically they're very cute. Especially tarantulas, because they're, like, fluffy. They're like hamsters with extra legs. You get bonus hamster when you get yourself a tarantula. Remember that. Next time you're asking for a hamster, maybe think about a tarantula. Here's some really cool things about spiders, though, that some of them I didn't know. But this is why I like spiders so much, right here. Spiders eat more insects than birds and bats combined. So we talk about how bats can eat 1,000 mosquitoes in an hour, and we talk about how birds, help control mosquito and bug populations like that too, while spiders do an even better job than they do. So they should be considered another of humans' best friends. They play a big role in controlling insect populations. Listen, if you see a spider in your house, don't kill him. If you absolutely have to, move him somewhere where you don't have to look at him. But just remember that if you're seeing a spider in your house, he's eating the bugs that you don't want to see. He's hiding the really gross ones, the ones that get into your food, the ones that carry diseases and stuff. He's gonna eat those and he's gonna love it. So just leave him alone, let him do his job. It's natural pest control. It is estimated that up to 1 million spiders live in 1 acre of land. So every time you see an acre of land, 1 million spiders live inside that acre. In fact, I don't know if this is exactly true, so don't quote me on this, but I was listening to a story on the radio not too long ago about how spiders, there are at least 10 different species of spiders living in every house. So even when you can't see them, they're all over. But remember, they're protecting you from the bugs. They're basically just really great roommates. Does your roommate do any of the pest control? I don't think so. This is nuts. It's a little Charlotte's Webby, if you have ever seen or read Charlotte's Web. Unlike insects, spiders cannot fly, but they can balloon. Young spiderlings will pull out silk until the breeze, so from their spinnerets, they just pull out silk until the breeze can lift them into the sky. So they just pull out and make a little hot air balloon out of webs. They throw it into the wind, and the wind just carries them. Now, they don't ever go very far or very fast, or get very high, but I guess they have found them at altitudes of 10,000 feet or on ships more than 200 miles away from land. So, you catch a stiff enough breeze, it turns out you really can make it places on a balloon. And finally, jumping spiders. I've seen these as pets a lot on TikTok. People have pet jumping spiders, and I didn't realize that was a thing. I mean, I don't know why. Like, tarantulas are a thing, so why not jumping spiders? But these are really cool. I didn't know this. Jumping spiders are crazy smart. Studies have shown that they can solve simple 3D puzzles. They also learn the behavior patterns of other spiders so that they can capture them and eat them. Which, let's not focus on that last part so much, but I love the idea of just a little spider. He's sitting there with his field notes like, the black widow seems very aggressive. Please readjust your fight methods. Anyway, spiders are so cool. Love your spiders. Say hi to your spiders. Be nice to your spiders. But also, I get it, because I don't like mice or rats. I don't want to be around them. I'm not interested in them. They're terrifying to me. So I understand the terror of it all, for sure. All right. Let's see. We did. It's already time for the prize pond. Time for the prize pond. Real quick before we get into the prize pond, though, let me look through the chat, see how everyone's doing. Good morning, Olivia, Katie, Shelby, Marsha, Michelle, Marissa. We've got Dark Prince Exio. I'm gonna mess that up every time. I'm so sorry. Good morning, Dark Prince. Erica Clements, Lindy. The arm is really sore, Katie. I talked a little about it at the very beginning of the episode, but yeah, the arm is really sore after the COVID vaccine. Hi, Camille. Sorry if I miss you. I can't see very well. I'm trying to make sure I say hi to everyone. Alicia's in the house. Hi, Alicia. Kayla. Hi, Kayla. Oh, Kayla, thank you for pointing that out. I'm sorry. It is only reopening at limited capacity for California residents, Disneyland is. Thank you for pointing that out. I totally spaced to write that down. So we won't have access to it yet. But again, it's still very promising that they're opening it. I'm really excited about that. Zizor, thank you. Dark Prince Zizor. Hi. Hi, Sadie. I love when you guys say hi to the chat, and I love even more when you leave me a text so that we can play Prize Pond. Let's see what we got here. If my computer will load. All right, random scroll, random scroll, random scroll. Okay, here we go. I might be calling you, so I hope you're next to the phone. We ring in.
Hello?
Hi, is this... Oh, I'm sorry, I just exited out of it. Is this Desiree?
This is Desiree.
Desiree, it's Nightcat. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Nightcat?
I am so stinking good. What are you up to this morning?
Just getting ready for work.
Very nice. What do you do?
I work at a school. I'm the computer site technology guru.
That's awesome. Do you like teach computer classes, or do you work like as IT fixing stuff?
Both.
Oh, wow. Good for you. That means you have to struggle with other teachers who don't know how to use technology and students who don't know how to use technology. That's rough stuff.
It is, because that's exactly what I do.
Oh my God. And how's it going now that everyone's digital? Like now that everyone's doing online school, it's got to be a million times harder, right?
Well, with Ogden School District, which is where I'm at, I just deal with the kids that are actually in school, and most of them are in school, and it's at an elementary. So it's not too bad on my end.
Well, that's good.
Somebody else has to deal with it, but not me, so.
Yeah, we'll let them deal with that. That's good. Well, how would you feel about playing Prize Pond?
I would love to.
Fantastic. Have you watched us play Prize Pond before?
Yes.
Awesome.
We listen every morning.
Fantastic. Oh, well, thank you. For those of you watching that don't know, behind me, I've got fish tanks. I've recently updated them, made some moves. But in these fish tanks, I have a fishing pole and a fishing net. Each of them has a fantastic prize attached to them. But Desiree, you have to choose just one. Would you like the hook or would you like the net?
My 10-year-old says the net.
You want the net? All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh, cute! A Bulbasaur Pez dispenser. Are you a fan of Pokemon? Is your son a fan of Pokemon?
No, I have both girls, and we don't know any Pokemon. I know who Pikachu is, and that's about it.
Okay, fair enough. I know that Pokemon has gotten really big lately, so I figured some of the kids might be into it. But if you would like, since you're not, a huge fan of Bulbasaur, I'll give you the opportunity to switch. Would you like to switch for whatever is on the hook?
Yeah, let's switch.
Awesome. Let's do it then. Ooh, heavy. Ooh, you got a sticker pack. Let's see what we got in here.
Woohoo!
Okay. We've got some cute Nightcat stickers, naturally.
Yay. Of course.
And then this is great. This is actually this is a really old sticker. It's a collectible one from the Harry Potter series. It's like the pre-movie designs where it's all animated and stuff. I think that's such a treasure. I think it's so cool.
Awesome.
More Harry Potter pre-movie merch designs, stickers, and a bumper sticker that says, "Living my okayest life."
I love it. I'm excited.
Awesome. Hey, I'll make sure to get these in the mail for you. Have a great day teaching America's youth about the computer technologies.
Thanks, Jackson. You have a great day, too.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Desiree. See you later.
Thanks. Bye.
If you would ever like to play Prize Pond, we play it every morning on the Morning Mews. It's super easy. All you gotta do is wake up early and text me your first name. I might call you to play for a prize. Okay, let's see here. Prize Pond. We did Spider Facts. We thanked our patrons. We did Morning Mews. We talked about the earthquake. I talked about my vaccine. Talked about the crawfish. I'm still so sad about the crawfish. I think that's it. Hey, I can't believe it already. Tomorrow we're going to have another fantastic show. If you didn't watch last night's Nightcap with Nightcat, make sure you do that. It's very funny, if I do say so myself. Do me a huge favor and like this video, like last night's episode of Nightcap with Nightcat. In fact, if you turn on a video, just go ahead and like it. It really does help. It's not just me being vain. It really helps move these things up in the YouTube algorithm when people comment and like the videos. So make sure you're doing that every time so that we can add more people to the Clouder. Make sure you're telling your friends as well, because nothing spreads business quite like word of mouth. You're like my front line. You're my army out there telling all the good people about the Clouder, about Nightcat, all the fun stuff that we do. It all starts with you. So text a link to your favorite video to one of your friends. If you don't know, I also isolate certain bits every day from the morning announcements. So some of your favorite bits are their own separate video. You'll be able to find those. Sometimes I put up Prize Pond as its own video. Sometimes I put up some of the news stories. They'll all be separate. So you can find that in the extras playlist on the Nightcap with Nightcat YouTube channel. If you ever have anything to say, any questions, concerns, comments, or curses, shoot me a text or leave me a voicemail, 601-557-CAT1, 601-557-2281. Check out nightcatmerch.com. Nightcatmerch.com is the place to get all of your Nightcat goodies. You'll be able to get Nightcat stickers, mugs, hoodies, shirts, phone covers. I love the phone cover. I'm wearing my underwear today, but I didn't prepare to show anybody, so I don't think that would be appropriate, but maybe one day I will show you my underwear. They're really soft. I actually really like the underwear a lot. And you can find a ton of toys over there on the Nightcat Toy Shack. Just visit nightcatmerch.com. Join the Patreon. We already talked a lot about that. And if you want to find any of these episodes, Morning Announcements or Nightcap with Nightcat, you can find the audio versions as a podcast on Nightcat Radio. Look for Nightcat Radio on your favorite podcast directory. Oh my goodness. All right. I think we did it. I think that's everything. Have a fantastic day. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here is your 3 minutes of fit.